Good morning, SPs. How is everyone today? I'm so glad it's Friday. It's been a long week. I hope you all had a great week. So, same caveat, different day, but I'm going to feature the content of people in the anti Scientology community. Sometimes you aren't going to like someone I feature, but that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it is. We don't like everyone. Not everyone likes us. Who cares? This is about more than human feelings. It's more than someone hurt my feelings or whatever, or I don't like them or whatever. I don't mean to be dismissive. I'm just not awake yet. I'm using all the wrong words. So see, just perfect example that we're all assholes. I'm an asshole too. So first I'm going to start with, actually, let me just see if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me okay today? Hello. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? I need to start telling you guys to give me a sound check when I first come in. Because I've been talking all this time and no one's responded to a thing I've said. So maybe you can't hear me? All right. I'm going to cancel today's show then, guys. If you guys can't hear me and I'm this tired and yeah. Okay, Peter, you hear me? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm in a mood, I guess, because I'm like, it seems like no one can hear me. The sound is always an issue. I need more sleep. I'm cranky. I use all the wrong words. I misspeak every show. I said something wrong yesterday that I caught when I watched it back. I don't even remember what it was now. But I'm half awake when I do these. I need to find a better work like balance. I need to do these shows later, but then that conflicts with in real life priorities. So it's just trying to find the right balance. And then it's like, oh, maybe I can give up one of the shows during the week. And it's like, but which one? Which one? The weekly recap? The interviews. I enjoy them all. So I just don't know what to do. And I got to get it figured out. And then the whole sound issues. But then I'm like, oh, but I already bought the microphone. I already have the microphone. So there are more in chat than the number reflects. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It says I have 8 people. 8 people on my end. So I don't know. That's not very many. Not very many. Okay, let's just get started and get this shit over with, right? I'm just tired. Okay, so first one, we have apostate Alex. Oh, there's T. Hi, T. Hi, Donna. I should say hi to everyone. Hi, Cricket. Hi, Peter. Hi, Donna. Hi, Style. Hi, Lorelai. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. I'm looking through, make sure. Dead air. Great, great for a show. Dead air. Okay, so let's start. Apostate Alex. Go to the screen. He was doing one on Scientology's fake human rights record, and it's pretty interesting. So I'll play a little bit of that, and then we're just going to move along quickly.
On the face of it, a religious organization is hosting a community event to celebrate World Human Rights Day. What could possibly be wrong with that? But that's precisely why Scientology do it, because to the untrained observer, it appears harmless. Who could be so flagrant about promoting human rights when they themselves are guilty of some of the most egregious human rights violations known to man?
Precisely, Alex. Do tell.
But allegations of human rights abuse within Scientology are numerous, and they span decades. Danielle Chamberlain, for instance, who was locked in the chain locker of the flagship Apollo by L. Ron Hubbard as a child and deprived of food and human contact as punishment, or executives such as Claire Headley and Amy Scobie, who were ordered to do hard manual labor and interrogated for hours every day on the rehabilitation project force at the church's compound in the Californian desert. The same compound Valerie Haney had to escape from in the trunk of an outsider's car after being...
In a nutshell, they're terrible. Their human rights are terrible. And then yet they put on these little fake events. What is it? The Society for Human Rights, or I don't remember what the name of the group is. And then there's the one for prevention of human trafficking, when they full well know that that's what they do. It's so citizens. What is it? Citizens. See, I'm not awake when I do these. It's too early. My brain is not braining yet. I haven't had any coffee yet. Citizens, I don't know, maybe someone in chat will have it. T's probably on it. She's been up all day. She's getting tired on the other end of the day. All right, well, let's just move along. I have a interesting one from Aaron Smith Levin. I've seen this clip before, and it's about child auditors. Not going to play a whole lot about that.
What do you do?
Find out by assessment which point the ARC break occurred on.
Good. What do you say?
Was that a break in affinity, reality, communication, understanding?
Good. The assessment.
Creepy AF having tiny little girls ask grown men sexual questions. Yes, in this clip, they don't show that, but that is what they end up doing. It's disturbing. It's truly disturbing. I'm going to play just a little bit more. Thank you, Aaron Smith Levin, for sharing this.
Assessment reads on communication with the fall. What do you do?
Check it with the PC.
Good. The PC replies that he feels this is a break in ARC, not a break in communication, and does not understand why this assessment is being done. What do you do?
I would end.
If you know, you know. They do more in-depth questions where they ask very detailed, explicit, vulgar questions about their sex life. Not just, oh, did you have relations with your wife? No, like, have you effed, your father, sort of things. I mean, it's like really disturbing, explicit, disgusting questions. And this child will be asking this if they're a trained auditor. Ask Serge Delmar the kind of questions that he had to ask grown men. Ask Serge Delmar the danger of being locked in an auditor's room with grown pedophiles and what happens. Ask Serge Delmar the things he had to talk about to grown perverted men and women. It's disgusting. Anyway, let's move along. I'm getting riled up. It's too early to be this riled up. I haven't had my coffee. All right. Here's one from Eyes to See about religious servitude, Sea Org escapees. All right.
Sea Org members escaped Scientology and lived to tell their tales. By Inigo Gonzalez, September 23rd, 2021. I'll come back for the pictures. Oh boy. If you're familiar with Scientology, you might also know a little bit about the Sea Org. But what is the Sea Organization?
You know, I'm getting fed up. How can an organization that is so disturbing and disgusting on every freaking level, on so many different levels, and they've been reported for decades. The man that started it was known to be a raconteur and a fraud and a con artist back in the 50s, chased out of DC, chased out of Kansas, chased out of Arizona, chased out of New Mexico, went to hide in the high seas, ran to Florida. He was chased out of Florida, went to live in the middle of the desert. They hunted him for years, and yet they let his criminal enterprise still take place. Kudos to you, Scientology, to be able to circumnavigate so many red barriers that should have stopped any organization. When is it going to end? When is enough is enough? When is there the corruption of the people that are getting their pockets lined by this organization going to be held accountable? When is enough enough? Okay, let's play a little bit more for Mice to see. I told you I'm getting riled up today.
Exactly. It describes itself as a fraternal religious order comprising the church's most dedicated members. You know, like kids. In truth, its members are often recruited from childhood, facts, and must sign a billion-year contract that pledges their current and future lives towards the church. It's comprised of the most powerful people in the whole of Scientology, and they all fight with each other for dominance.
Let's skip ahead just a little, and then we'll leave this because you have to go watch her channel to see it.
A higher-ranking Scientologist was on to me as soon as I entered the ship at 15. You guys see? It's always the same, isn't it? He was part of the team trying to recruit me. It was bordering on pedophilia, especially as he asked me to marry before I was 16. How
Asking a 15-year-old to marry you? I mean,
many times we keep hearing this, you guys? The record for me is, I believe it was 10 years old, where one of the Scientology men asked a little girl to marry him.
I'm not going to play anymore, but go check this out from Eyes to See. She does an excellent breakdown of this. And shout out to you, Eyes to See. I appreciate the work you do. She put out a number of things. She put out like 5 that are really all very interesting and good, and breaks them down. And I just can't feature them all, but I do feature another one later in the show. All right, next we have T. T, a voice down under. Going clear is a scam.
When a person becomes clear, they are supposed to arrive independently at a certain idea or cognition, known as the clear cognition. When they state this idea to the auditor, the person is given the clear certainty rundown, and if this process is deemed successful, they will attest to the state of clear. So what is the clear cognition?
Don't copyright strike me, T, please.
According to several former members who reached the state of clear, the idea may be phrased in a number of ways. But the gist of it is that the person was mocking up their reactive mind and has stopped doing so. But what does this mean? First, we need to know what mock-up means. From Scientology's own dictionary of technical terms.
T breaks it down. If you ever wondered what Going Clear was about, you can watch this and learn all about it. I love the amount of information she disseminates so that everyone can find out what their mechanisms are. Great job, T. We are going to move to the second one I have from Eyes to See.
So we took a lap, and then we saw hundreds of the Scientologists everywhere. They were covering the sidewalks, walking in huge groups.
It was about 2 girls that were followed.
And there was a ton of
2 girls that were followed when they went down to Clearwater.
buses. Maybe even thousands of people were waiting to load on what we saw everyone waiting for the buses multiple times. Then on the way back, things started to get strange. We noticed there would be huge sprees of similar cars, all with bright LED lights, always going by us, just for there to be no cars on the road. After then, 3 to 4 times, a large red truck would purposely speed full throttle, very close to us, almost trying to run us off the road. Then we noticed
They were on bikes. They were on bikes.
lots of e-scooters everywhere we would go, all with the same little headlight on the front. Everywhere we would go to try to get away just led to more scooters coming directly our way. Didn't Danny get assaulted by this guy on a scooter in LA? Guess they can't get cars because they have no money.
Following them, harassing them. Eyes to See breaks it down. Go check her out to see the full scoop on that. It's pretty interesting. It's very telling. What are you hiding, Scientology, that you have to follow two young ladies that are just riding around your block on a bike? All right. Next, we have two ex-Scientologists walk into a room from Liz Gale with Amir Asali.
Yeah.
Being real creepy and weird, but you're seeing this because you're running the information. So they have their own secure, like almost their own like little fax. I don't know, it's like a fax email situation, but it's
Email.
secure.
Yeah.
Right. It's email. Yeah. Okay. But it's all secure, right? It's its own encrypted.
He was at a high enough security level that he was seeing all the transcripts being sent about him. They were being super sweet to him to his face, but behind his back, they were saying horrible things. Here's a little bit more of that.
Network. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so most eyes don't see this stuff. That's crazy that you were seeing it about yourself. So you you knew you were going to get in trouble before you got in trouble?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was a chess match. It was because, you know, Malcolm's being nice to me, the executive director, the boss, who was being nice to me, and I was being nice to him. But when I'm reading this, they're plotting against me. And at the same time, I was like, all right, bet I'm plotting against you. And so it was a complete chess match, and we were nice to each other, but we had masks on. And so I thought, if you're investigating,
don't they always have masks on? They're always keeping their TRs in. They're always being fake. They're never being real. They can't show real emotion unless it's anger, and they do eventually get angry with him. Let's play just a little bit more because I want to show you when he decides to go.
me, well, then I should.
What if instead of designing thumbnails, you could just paste
Commercials, sorry. Big channels. That's the problem with featuring big channels.
Something about it. Otherwise, because I told Mal, you've completely mishandled the situation. All I've done is talk to somebody. On paper, Alex is not a declared suppressive person. He's declared PTS, a potential trouble source. And so, therefore, handle or disconnect doesn't apply because he's not a suppressive person at all. So I was communicating all of this, but they were not having it at all. And so eventually what did it for me, I went along with a lot of stuff, but what did it for me was hard manual labor. And so Malcolm sat down with me. He really fucks with you, man. There's so many stuff he does. He really, really messes with you. But he said that we're going to take you off public lines. Okay, you're not going to be able to do your job. You're not going to be able to work with anybody. You're going to be completely isolated by yourself, and you're going to work in the Life Improvement Center. Mess work. Okay, you're going to do some mess work, unpaid for hours and hours and hours. And, you know, while you're at it, the stuff from the last bookathon, you know, from the book selling with all the tables and the tents, that's still.
You know, I don't have words. Let's just move on.
Oh, in the Life Improvement Center, which is currently being renovated, which I had to work in, we need you to take it back upstairs to the organization. So you've got the tent I need to carry upstairs. And plus, I'll tell you what, the weights killed me. I was like, I had spaghetti legs and spaghetti arms at that point. But usually when you go out book selling, you have to plant weights on the legs so that the tent doesn't sway.
I'm not going to play any more of that just because it's taking too long to get to the point where I wanted it to. I could move ahead a little bit, but you'll have to go check out Liz's interview with Amir Saleh. She does a great job with him. She has so much knowledge from her life experience that she's able to really break things down with him and find out more information. Amir has been spilling the beans. He has been given all the tea. Next, I have Journey 2020. She got to meet with Brooks, virtually meet with Brooks Gibbs.
Super secret.
Okay.
This is kind of super secret. This is a 1000% exclusive.
She got an exclusive from Brooks Gibbs, who is from the Save the Garden crew. Here we go. Ooh.
This is very special. Okay. I got to just give it a little tension right here.
Okay.
People say, what's next? Okay. Save the Garden is a success. What are you doing next? And this is why we need you, Sarah. We're doing what we call New Downtown. New downtown. Who cares what Scientology does with their Cleveland Street? That's old downtown. We're doing new downtown. I made a video. I think it's episode 4 or 5. It's called, or maybe it's episode 3 for Save the Garden. It's called How to Heal a City. And in that, I casted a vision. I said, we have to memorialize that which was in the past. And we have to look forward to that which is new. We also have to accept the fact that Scientology owns 95% of public available land.
95%. 95%.
There's no more available. So we have to work on new downtown. We've been working on new downtown for a while now. And so today I'm announcing on your channel, my good friend, I'm announcing newdowntown.org. And it's very interesting because it's my son who's leading this one. It's my son. He's an 18-year-old, and he has just admired the work we've done. He has a heart for Clearwater, and he has pioneered an open letter. He's written an open letter to all the county commissioners. That's how it's going to start. You have to understand that tomorrow, on his 19th birthday, it's March 19th, 2026. Tomorrow, the county, for the first time, is going to discuss in the sunshine at a meeting what they're going to do with the 16 properties, 24 acres of downtown properties that they are going to either sell, sorry, I'm from Texas, sell. There's my accent coming out. They're going to sell, or what we have been lobbying for, leasing for 100 years, maintain ownership of the 16 properties. And we are advocating for a new downtown.
We got to get on this, guys. I mean, if they're selling more property, Scientology is going to have operatives. They're going to hire lawyers that hire other people that talk to other investors. They're going to have a back door where they try to get this property and scoop it up. So keep an eye on New Downtown. Keep an eye on Brooks Gibbs and Journey 2020. And thank you, Journey, for bringing this to us. Okay, next, let's go back to Alex, Apostate Alex. He did an interview, much sought after interview with, I can't think of his name right now. Pete Griffiths. I was getting ready to say Peter, but I'm like, it's not Peter. Pete Griffiths. Here we go.
Here in the House, of those who declared to be Scientologists in the Irish census, I wonder how the split is between public and staff. Yeah, I would be interested to know how many members of staff there are at the new community centre Ideal Org in Dublin versus how many public there are. Because if you compare it to the UK, for example, London has about 40 or 50 staff members, I believe, at the moment, and maybe has 15 or 20 public who are...
Wow, so about 60 in London. Tiny.
Regularly going in and studying. Sunderland Org, on the other hand, has 3 staff members and like 2 public.
And I know
so
that.
It'd be interesting to see the ratio over in Ireland.
I couldn't tell you specifically, obviously, because once the Ideal Org opened and they brought in a whole load of these.
Unless you want to work for Scientology, don't join Scientology as a public, because they are so starved for staff and so starved for Sea Org. They are going to do their best and get you pulled in quickly. Ask Amir.
In Europeans that came. But when Dublin had the mission in Abbey Street, the total number of Scientologists, by knowing them and counting them, was 43. And I remember that number, and that included the children. So in
43, including the kids. So if you consider probably at least a third of them are kids, it's 25-ish. It's crazy. So very small numbers, but if we let up now, they'll pull more people in. So we can't let up because they're desperate. They're really getting trickier and greedier and trying to do harder and better, because they're getting a lot of heat from the upper echelons like David Miscavige to bring those numbers up. So they're really trying to recruit, and we have to just keep filling the public's ears with the facts. Okay, let's move along. Here is a quick little one from Jenna Miscavige, the niece of David Miscavige.
My uncle, the leader of Scientology, spent millions of parishioner donations on having his own father followed for years by private investors.
Millions is, that's a very large number, from 1 million to 999 million. It's a huge number. But consider this: just on her grandfather alone, they spent 500,000 a year just for one set of their PIs, and they have several sets of PIs on each of these people, guys. That's where their money's going. That's where Tom Cruise's hard-earned money is going.
Investigators after he escaped Scientology. Those PIs were arrested because they were suspected of being hitmen. This is just a portion of the audio from the police interrogation.
Your assignment is death.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think the funding comes from? I mean, probably Tom Cruise.
That's not easy to say.
You laugh, but are you being serious? I'm being serious. That's probably where it comes from.
Thanks, Tom Cruise. You're really clearing the planet. You're clearing the planet of elderly old men who are just trying to go on about their lives. Okay, next let's play a clip from one of my good friends. Scooter Mom was on Tori Magoo, and I want to play a little bit that features her, and then I'm going to self-indulge and play something that features a passion project of mine. Here we go.
Okay, nope, so that's fine. So I learned about YouTube, and I started watching videos, and eventually I started stumbling onto YouTube videos, and I don't remember if I had stumbled onto YouTube videos or an interview with Jenna, but somewhere around that time I learned about Jenna and I learned about her book. So I bought her book and I read her book, and first of all, it was such a really well-written book. Right. That I was really impressed, but also she gave me so much information, and
Jenna Miscavige pulled in Scooter Mom.
Also tied in the link between Dianetics and Scientology. So then I was like, oh, okay. And then one of my daughters and I watched the entire series of Scientology in the Aftermath with Leah and Mike. Right.
Shout out to Leah Remini and the Aftermath, and rest in peace, Mike. See how tired I am? Mike Rinder. I want to next play where she mentions how important the never-ends can be to this movement. Here we go.
Well, Mark Bunker is always my first example, and he would come with me when I would give talks in 2000, and I would forget,
See, this is self-serving, tying in never ends, tying in Mark Bunker. I wanted an excuse to mention Mark Bunker. Mark Bunker needs to get reelected in Clearwater. Please share his channel. Please shout out his name. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Like what's the thing for Paula Cooper? What's the name of her? Operation Freak Out is one of them, and the other one is, what is it? Operation Freak Out, and
the lovely Miss. Oh
no, that's a book. Anyway, I would forget it, and Bunker would know it, right? And so, but then he would say stuff that was wrong, and so I would take him aside afterwards, and I'd say, "Look, it's this, it isn't that."
Right.
And he really paid attention, and he would learn. And now he's like one of the best, activists as far as doing interviews. He knows so much stuff, and that's spending time with people and learning, and like I said, it's
never ends play an important role. Don't ever forget that. The combination of a never end with an ex-Scientologist, we got this, babes. So shout out to Mark Bunker. I wanted to remind you, this is Mark Bunker. He is running for City Council of Clearwater, Florida. He's the only man on the Clearwater City Council who's been willing to stand up for the rights of the citizens over the rights of Scientology. Please, please give him some support. All right. One more clip. This one is totally self-serving. From Tori Magoo.
England. Wow, that's amazing. That's a voice down under. And Aloha JB808 says T and Miriam. Okay, good.
Yes.
And Miriam speaks well on those calls. Well, that's good.
I think everyone does. I mean, anyone can get tongue-tied on a call. Anyone can get tongue-tied speaking to a camera on the internet. It happens.
Shout out to the call-in crew.
No matter how often you may have done it.
Yeah.
It happens. But most of the time, everybody is really focused, and they're really good at getting the point across in that limited amount of time. And I've heard your calls in too, Tori, so don't leave yourself out of the call-in crew.
Wow. I don't know when to do it. I have to get somebody who tells me when we're supposed to do it.
I'm somebody. I'm the somebody.
Yeah. I think Antics has been keeping track of that. Antics of a Mama Squirrel.
Okay. All right. I'll find out from her. But thank you. Thank you. And sometimes Voice Down Under says sometimes if I can't sleep, I call in too, because
shout out to T for doing the call-in even from halfway around the world. She's helping us out and caring about our cities. Okay, so for that, I want to play a clip from my channel from when the call-in crew was activated. And if you don't know what the call-in crew is we have been calling in to the Board of Public Works in Los Angeles and trying to get them to do lots of things. But one of the main focuses that's a really easy target right now is to get them to just take down that honorarium of having that street named after L. Ron Hubbard. Why do we have a street named after a cult leader? Anyway, I'm going to play a clip from that of Miriam, Scientology Up North. Shout out to Miriam.
Our next hand raised is Miriam. Miriam, do you have general public comment?
Yes, please.
Okay. Go ahead.
Scrolling, sorry.
Yeah, so I want to echo on the comments previously given regarding the cult of Scientology. I definitely think that the name of L. Ron Hubbard Day should be returned into North Berendo Street. I also want to emphasize that there's actually documented evidence that the cult of Scientology has, during the past decades, donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to LAPD to their different kind of free time activities, as well as they hired them.
What? The police are in cahoots with Scientology? Oh, my pearls.
Outside.
I should say shout out to Aaron Smith Levin, not that he coined that phrase, but it just reminded me of him when I said it.
Of their duty to do security services for them. I think it's really time that the city officials at least take a stance and stop any kind of behind the scenes communication with the cult of Scientology, because it's clearly their method of getting their way by paying the government officials, the city officials, and the police department.
And that was Miriam, Scientology Up North. And I appreciate you, Miriam, calling in so consistently and helping us out. So to remind you guys how to do it, go to my channel. Go to my channel on the posts. There'll be a post. So here's the one for today. Today at 10 o'clock. Go to Ganja Girl's channel. She's going to be streaming it. Go to Ganja Girl's channel. But today on my posts, click on the read more. And here's the agenda. Here's the Zoom link. You just click on the Zoom link. Put your hand up. There's a little button in the bottom that has a little hand symbol. Click on that to show that, yes, I'm not just here lurking. I actually want to speak. And then when it comes time to do public comment, they'll have you speak. And you could say something as simple as, why do we have a street named after a cult leader? That street name needs to get changed. And I support these people calling in and reporting the crimes of Scientology. Why aren't you doing anything about this? That would be invaluable. And you see, I linked a ton of people to try to get a lot of people to call in today and support Ganja's first day back to live streaming the public works. Thank you, Ganja, for taking that on. It's one more piece of work off of my shoulders, and I appreciate it. So if you could call in and show Ganja your support today, show this movement your support. Let's get that name changed back. Why do we have a street named after any religious leader, whether you consider them a cult or not? We don't have a Jesus Christ way. We don't have a Buddha or a Muhammad way. Why do we have an L. Ron Hubbard way? L. Ron Hubbard was a horrible man, and we have a street honoring him. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. So here is Ganja's channel. Check her out. Please like and subscribe to Ganja. She's been taking a break for the longest time, so her watch hours are in the toilet. So if you could go through her channel, play her videos, play one of her playlists. She has a lot of really excellent content. She's going to take up the streaming of the public works calls and support her in this, guys. And we need more people to call in. We need to get this going. We need to show them we're serious. But she has a lot of music videos. She has a lot of content to look through, and play her playlists when you sleep, so we can get her watch hours back up, because she took a long break. Community drama, life drama, stuff happens. But she is back in action and needs our support. And I hope I know they're talking about changing Cesar Chavez back to 39th. Yep, exactly. There's no reason why we can't change that, get that street name changed. We're going to do it, guys, but we need everyone to call in at least once and let them hear a number of voices saying the same thing. Afro Man on this. I know I had lemon pound cake in my head earlier, so I feel that. Hello, Rain. I obviously know you're here. I just read your comments. So that's funny. Thank you guys for coming. That's all we have here today. Let's see. Should we play a commercial? I think we should play a commercial from one of my proud sponsors, Miriam, Scientology Up North.
Are you feeling sad, lonely, and starved for love? Are you tired of looking for love on dating apps? Is your cult of millions still not a large enough dating pool for you to find a wife replacement for the one that you locked up in exile, never to be heard from again? Well, look no further. We here at Scientology Up North can help. At Scientology Up North, we believe that there is an alien Phaeton match for everyone. Even the worst cult leaders on TGAC can find love in Copenhagen. Our certified love specialist, Miriam de Fantastiques, has had 100% success rate. Follow her in Copenhagen today at Scientology Up North.
Love you, Miriam. Great job. She does. Expect more from her soon, hopefully. Back to the whole Tori Magoo calling in. The reason she doesn't call in for the public works calls is because she doesn't get up till after that. It's on too early for her. She's a night owl. So she doesn't do the call-ins for public works very often because of that. But we do have a renewed effort to get her to do some of the later city council meetings because she has expressed interest in that. And so I've been working with her on that, and more to come. Tori will be joining the call-in crew more often. So I'm really excited about that. And she is too. So I was embolstered by her saying that on her show with Scooter Mom. So shout out to Scooter Mom for bringing that up. And for all the people in chat, Amy was talking about it. T was talking about it. There was a number of people in chat talking about it that got Tori and Scooter Mom talking about it. See, so you guys do have an effect. You guys do help us. And I appreciate the shout outs during that show. So that's it, guys. That's all the show today. Go out and have a great weekend and do something fun today. Bye. Thank you.